Hello and welcome back to Streaming Games. This is Derek. I'm taking a look at Act 2 of the series. This is the beginning, so let's jump into some action. So I'm still using my Duelist. I swapped out the mice so I don't have my mouse key shortcut, so I'll be going straight keyboard for that. And we have your typical characters here, trash mobs and whatnot. So what have I done since Act 1? Well, the first thing I did was go from a character that relied on evasion to a character that relies on a combination of energy shield that you can see over here and armor. It's my opinion, and you know, opinions are like, you know what, but I think evasion's just junk. There's just no way. Uh-oh, hold on a second. We got a big guy here. Uh-oh. Wow. And he took me out quick. And you see, that's even with a combo of energy and armor. But anyway, evasion was just junk. I mean, I would have been dead in the first hit if I kept evasion, because basically what it does is lower your chance of getting hit. The only problem with that, though, is when you do get hit, you're just really hating life. It takes up half your health, and at least here I can absorb half the damage, you know. Unfortunately, with this particular mouse I'm using, I can't use my cleave spell that is set up on my middle mouse button. For some reason my middle mouse button isn't working, so give me just a second. I'm gonna move this little goodie right here to that key, and then move my cleave spell right there. Okay, so what is this? This gives you cold damage, and I've been up in the gym as I go along. You know, I'm not sure how much helpful it is, but it's more helpful if you're running with a party, because it not only buffs you, but it buffs your buddies that you're cruising along with. So it does have its use, but I'm not sure if it's worth the mana draw for just me. Alright, and yeah, I do like my cleave, and it's becoming a lot more powerful now. And since I'm running into a lot more of multiple mobs at the same time, the cleave's becoming a lot more useful. I'm also finding in the later levels that we're starting to get rings that focus just on certain resistances like lightning, cold damage, or fire resistance, and it does seem like we will need to be swapping those out. So pro tip, don't sell all the items you have just because you may not need it at the time, because you might run into a boss monster where you'll need to buff yourself up with as much fire resistance or whatnot as you can to get by them. I'm finding in the layer levels that uh-oh, here we go. 2 bosses. Hold on a second. Okay, he's tough. Oh man, they're hitting me good. Okay, get my mana up. Get myself regenerated here. Oh, they still took me out. So you can probably see right here, you're still popping potions like they were candies. You know, part of it's because I play bad, especially when I'm commenting, but you know, you're not just standing and clicking. You definitely need to be running around dodging and making sure you're out of the way of attacks. When you get a couple of these tough guys after you, it can really be a challenge. And I'm still figuring things out because I'm new to commenting while I play. What I have done is buff up my heavy strike with support gems, and I'll try and remember to show you what that's all about. Alright, additional life this guy has. Okay, now what I did there was pop all 3 potions at the same time. And I seem to need it just to be able to take these guys out. There we go. So yeah, even though my heavy strike with support gems has 217 DPS, I still have to wail on these guys, and it's by far the most powerful use I have. So what are support gems? They're things you start to pick up in the later levels that allow you to increase the damage of other gems. For instance, this heavy strike right here gets an additional 30% of physical damage added as fire damage. So the combo of this and that makes for a nice hefty 217 DPS. That's really nice. My character is mostly DPS with armor to mitigate the damage, and you can see as I am far from a tank, so even though I can one-shot a lot of these trash mobs, I still have to be careful when I'm up against multiple baddies. Fun game though. Really enjoy it. And now we're up in the fire damage from 30% to, what are we looking at now? 31. Okay. So up in the gem level doesn't help a whole lot, but hey, every little bit's good. It went from 217 to 218. Mediocre amount. This guy's really pack a punch. Alright, so where am I going here? I have to go to that way and that way. Alright, so do I keep heading this direction? Those apes are interesting. When they get close enough, you'll see here. They call up a swarm of monkeys, and they all come off the trees and attack. The monkeys are really weak, but when they gang up, they can be a pain. Cleave action. A lot of times I'm just spamming my heavy strike and my cleave. I don't think my decoy is powerful enough to be of much use. The time it takes me to spawn this thing, like so, I get pounded on. And it only takes a hit or two before the totem goes away. Maybe when the decoy's powered up a little bit, it'll be useful, but right now it's not worth the hassle. So a lot of it's just spamming this cleave right there. And spamming my heavy strike right there. Jeweler's Orb. asked for, but my accuracy is really taking a dump right now too, so I'm gonna start putting points into that. New stuff that we get, these things here, it changes the sockets. You know, the hidden complexity of the game, you find that certain sockets are better for certain characters. And sometimes, even though you have a really nice item, the sockets on it are of no use to you whatsoever, so things like that jeweler's orb really help. Armor scrap. Improve the quality of your armor. I should be using that a lot more than I have been. It might keep me from being so squishy still. But my Duelist is still viable. He's still out there doing damage, and dual wielding works. It just doesn't work very well as a evasion character. Much better with armor and or energy shield.